Alright, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video I'm a little bit grumpy because my Cleveland Cavaliers did not hashtag let them know today. And now they are down 3-1 in the playoffs. You guys don't care about that. This is a gaming channel, but I am in a grumpy mood. I was hoping they would win so I could get on here, record a video, be in a great mood, but it is what it is. Life goes on. I'm a little bit grumpy, so I figure, you know what? I'll take advantage of that situation. I'll do a little bit of a rant today. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So Hi-Fi Rush came out earlier in the year, and I feel like the general consensus amongst the community was that everybody loved it. I mean, even people outside of the community loved it. It was just a fun game that everyone seemed to enjoy for the most part. And at the time, it was a much needed win for Xbox, who, let's just say, did not have a very good 2022. So Hi-Fi Rush starting off 2023, that was a good start to the year for Xbox. But recently it had been reported by Jeff Grubb that Hi-Fi Rush didn't meet expectations for Xbox. Expectations being, generally vague. It wasn't specifically sales expectations. It wasn't really anything in specific. It was just expectations. Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't even see the initial tweet. And when I went to go find the initial tweet the next day, it had since been deleted because Aaron Greenberg came out and disputed those claims. And by the way, the tweet in question isn't from Jeff Grubb's Twitter. This is just something that Jeff Grubb said on his podcast, and then there was a tweet made about what he said on his podcast. But I did not hear about this tweet or see this tweet when it was tweeted. In fact, I didn't see it until many hours later when my buddy Uso Vinny, great dude by the way, go and check him out on Twitter. And he also does a podcast with a few awesome dudes. It's called the Talk Story Podcast. They try to do a podcast once a month. It's usually on a Sunday. So go check them out. Subscribe. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. They're awesome dudes. Definitely worth checking out. But when my buddy Vinny told me about this rumor, or I guess we call it this report, sort of, my initial reaction was, well, that's bullshit, obviously. And keep in mind, I obviously don't know anything. I'm not an insider of any sort. I know nothing at all, right? So that's just my gut reaction, all right? My gut reaction is that is complete BS. Trying to use my common sense, they shadow dropped a $30 game into their subscription service on PC and Xbox. And then they say it doesn't meet their expectations? What are their expectations? I mean, we've known for years at this point that Microsoft doesn't seem to care about sales. They really don't seem to care about sales. Their whole thing, especially since Game Pass has been a thing, is engagement. All they want is engagement. You heard it whenever Halo Infinite launched, whenever Forza Horizon launched. They didn't say, hey, we made 10 million sales on Forza Horizon. They were saying, hey, we've got 10 million players. Same with Halo Infinite. It wasn't like, 20 million sales. It was 20 million players. They want engagement. That's all they want. And for me personally, I just kind of find it hard to believe that Hi-Fi Rush didn't meet expectations. I mean, unless you were expecting, 10 million players, I find it difficult to believe that. But there was a good amount of time where Hi-Fi Rush was the most played game in Game Pass. It had that kind of cachet that High on Life did. You guys remember when High on Life launched in Game Pass? Consistently. It was like weeks in a row. It was the #1 played game on Game Pass. That was kind of what Hi-Fi Rush did as soon as it dropped in the Game Pass. And then you've got people who say stuff like, well, Hi-Fi Rush didn't even crack the top 100 most purchased on Xbox. It's like, well, of course it didn't. Why would it? Do you know what I did when Hi-Fi Rush was shadow dropped? I went to my Xbox, I downloaded it, I played it, I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite games of the year so far. Genuinely, it's a blast. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already for some reason. But I didn't buy it on Xbox. I didn't need to. I didn't feel the need to. Most gamers, like me, you watching this, your friends, we're not the norm. We're in the hardcore group of gamers. We're like in a very dedicated group of gamers. I've got a Series S, a Series X, a PS5, a Nintendo Switch, a Steam Deck, a gaming PC. That's not the normal. That's not the normal thing. Most gamers are just casual gamers, and most casual gamers aren't going to buy a game that they've already beat in Game Pass. It just doesn't make financial sense. Now, for someone like me, I already know if they announce a collector's edition of Starfield, I'm getting it. I'm getting it for Xbox. That's not a question. That's already done. Consider it done. Redfall, I'm getting it physical. I mean, as soon as that 60 FPS patch drops, I'm buying a physical copy. Until then, I'll play it in Game Pass. But I'm gonna buy that game. And listen, if I know that what I do, what you do, what the hardcore gamer does isn't the norm, then surely Microsoft knows that. And surely they set their expectations to meet that thought process. And listen, I'm not here to shit on Jeff Grubb. I think Jeff Grubb's a decent guy. I don't think he's a bad person, you know? In fact, he's already come out and said he feels like really bad about this whole situation. So I'm not trying to shit on him. Like, don't get it twisted. I just feel like the whole situation surrounding Xbox right now, the whole conversation is just generally negative, and some of it is very rightfully deserved. I mean, you guys heard my videos about Redfall and launching at 30 FPS on consoles. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and you deserve backlash for that. You genuinely do. It's just also, for me, something I've noticed is that when the conversation is tilted in that direction of just general negativity, it becomes super easy to just pile on. I mean, I've noticed it on my channel. Like, a lot of my videos top out at about 50, 60 views. Most of my videos top out around there. If I make a video shitting on Xbox, that goes way past 50, 60 views. That gets hundreds of views. So it's like, I've noticed it on my end too. And the whole other aspect of this is that the guest on Jeff Grubb's podcast, when this statement was made, was saying that he has sources telling him that people up top at Microsoft aren't happy with Xbox and they're considering shutting it down. It's like, what? Who are your sources that are speaking directly to Satya Nadella? Is your source Satya Nadella? Like, what are you talking about? And that's exactly what I mean when I say it becomes easy to pile on. You know, that's not a headline. That's not a statement that gets said during a week where Xbox is having great news. That's not a headline you see. That's a headline you see when Redfall launches at 30 FPS on Xbox consoles. That's a headline you see during that week. That's a statement that's made during that week. Just keep in mind that if Starfield launches and it's fantastic, very well received, critically acclaimed, just keep in mind, keep looking for that negative Xbox news. You're not going to find it. You will not find it that week. It won't be there. You're going to find a lot of positive Xbox news. Just like if it launches and it's a little buggy, it's a little broken, there's a game-breaking bug on a quest, then you're going to find some negative Xbox news. It's just the way it is. But to just get on camera and say, I've heard from my sources that Xbox is going to be closing up shop, the fuck are you talking about? They are literally in the middle of the biggest acquisition in entertainment history. There's not an acquisition that comes close in size to the acquisition they are currently trying to make right now. And on top of that, they've said multiple times during the process of this acquisition that there will be more acquisitions afterwards. That does not sound like they're on the way out, you know? And guys, all I want to be able to do is just criticize Xbox when they deserve it. Specifically when they deserve it. Like I said, Redfall at 30 FPS, you deserve some criticism. You deserve some heat for that. But think about Hi-Fi Rush. It's a brand new IP from an Xbox studio. How often do we get brand new IPs from Xbox studios? It's not often. It needs to be more often. But it's not often. And not only is it a brand new IP, it's a huge success. People love it. It went viral for like a week and a half after its launch. Like, people loved that game. But really, guys, the point of this video is I just think it's easy to pile on Xbox sometimes. I think it's what gets attention. Again, from my own experience, my best performing videos outside of like a review or something like that, my best performing videos that are like this are just me shitting on Xbox. It's what gets attention. And listen, it's especially easy when you're on a podcast. I mean, I can't imagine being at someone at Jeff Grubb's level or anybody above that level, where it's like you can be on a podcast and just say a throwaway comment, and then all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, this got out of hand. I didn't mean for any of that to happen. I get that. And listen, I feel bad for Jeff Grubb in this whole situation. If I'm being honest, I feel bad for him. Because he's already come out and said, he's already apologized. He's already said he feels terrible about this whole situation. But at the same time, it's like, man, what did you expect to happen when you said that? I don't know. It's a weird situation. But honestly, I think I'm done ranting about this whole situation. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your initial thoughts were when you've heard this report that Hi-Fi Rush didn't meet expectations for Xbox. And let me know if you were surprised when Aaron Greenberg came out literally the next day and said that's not true. It was a breakout hit for us. Leave a comment down below. Let me know about all that. Leave a like if you liked the video, and if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because that helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel, and it helps push me in the algorithm, helps get the videos out to more people, and again, I very much appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.